Hey, what's going on guys, G1X here, and today I thought we'd take a look at Transformers Masterpiece MP-20 Wheeljack. Now, this is the first time we've gotten this mold, and he's a really exciting mold and character. We're going to probably get a couple of different from this mold. We know one for certain, which is going to be Exhaust. I'm going to do a review on that figure as well, and whenever he comes in. But since this is the first time, I wanted to do the transformation from car to robot and back to car, just because whenever I was doing it myself, while having the directions right in front of me, there was a couple of things that I had problems with, and they weren't really clear on what was needing to move, or how do you overcome this obstacle. And maybe it does, I just don't read Japanese, but I wanted to bring that to you guys, so that if you're struggling on transformation either way, then I'm going to be able to help you out. Let's also do some comparisons. I don't have the original G1 Wheeljack here, but I will show some G1s and some other Masterpiece figures. Now, first off, with this figure, he does come with his little missile thing here. Comes in two pieces. You can see that there's these little indentions here. Same on here. There's, you can see the female in there. So if you have the indentions and you try to place them where they're going up and the bottom, it's not going to fit. This is obviously, you'll figure this out by trial and error. But there you have his missile, which will fit on either the top lane or on either shoulder. But as far as the car mode itself, I think this is quite impressive. This is, I don't know if it's just, it's new, it's fresh to me. It's something that I don't have 4 or 5 different, molds of. But this is something that as soon as I got it out of the package, I started looking at it. I had a lot of problems with Red Alert, where, he has his fire department or chief or whatever, logos here, there, and there. Well, on, his panel on the door, where it was 2 different panels, whenever you try to line them up, they kind of look weird looking, so it was messed up. On this guy, I was worried with so many lines and, all over the place that he was going to have something messed up, I'm sorry. I couldn't find a single thing. Whether you're looking through the interior right here, if you're looking, through here, because this is different panel, this is different right here, this is different, that's different, then that's different. The red is solid. It doesn't everything is straight the way it's supposed to be. It's just an absolutely perfect looking paint job. And this is the first time I've been able to say that. I mean, even here with Sideswipe, I was like, well, whenever you get to where you're painting on top of, this, kind of clear plastic material, you can see this is a darker red. That's, this is just regular plastic, but that's darker, then that's brighter, and then this is darker. And, it was like a lot of disappointments. And that's just, coloring a figure of one solid color. Well, they did the same on this, where they painted, on top of this clear plastic, but you don't have that different tone of paint with the white, red, and green than you do on the regular plastic parts. So that was something that they've definitely improved upon. You can also see some really nice stickers going around here. I even like the paint on the inside of the rims there. Looks really nice. Just an overall fantastic looking vehicle. I really couldn't be more pleased with it. Now these mirrors, they do not come assembled. I already put them in their box, but basically, in case you break these, they do come with an extra set as well, and they're just on a sprue. So you're going to get 2 pairs of the mirrors. Hopefully we won't have that problem. I don't see why we would, but it's better safe than sorry. And, looking at the bottom, you can see the little gun right there, robot in disguise. I love this thing. It's, again, it may just be completely new and fresh to me, because like this guy, I've got 4 molds, and then the Streaks I've got 3, and then the Seekers, we won't even get into that. But, this is a comparison with him with Lambor or Sideswipe. Very nice. So just excited to get something new, especially from the Masterpiece line, considering, it's my favorite. All right, now moving him to the side. It does roll quite nice. We'll take the gun out. Just pops in there. It's only going to be able to fit on this side. It won't fit this way, or at least I couldn't get it to. But get this guy transformed. We're going to first, if you grab the body of the car like so, you can push down with this here and just kind of fold this section out and just kind of extend that. Now it shows like the next step in the directions to just, it shows it like, yeah, just an arrow going that way, and this is going to slide forward. Well, it didn't really work that way for me. I noticed that there's a clip here, so I pulled that clip out, and I pulled that clip out. I don't know why it wouldn't show you that in the directions, otherwise you're going to end up breaking that or stressing that over time. But pull those clips out, and then with this section here, pop the top right there, because again, that's clipped in. You don't want to just yank on this, and that's where I got this to fold down. And you can see that this section right here, it's accordioned up in there. So we'll just fold forward with that. And then I pull the legs out. So we're going a little bit of, out of order from what the directions said, but I think this is the safest way. And this way we're, obviously if you see me not break my figure, this is the way I've transformed it several times already. And I just feel this is the safest way, because if you just pull those out and then try to do this, then I think you might end up breaking something or stressing something. But this section right here, this is just going to stay just like that. With these legs, we're going to bend these forward, just like so. So bend those. We're not trying to connect anything in at this moment. With this section here, these are going to swing around this way. And there is a little slot right there, if you can see about my thumb, and you can see that little peg right there. So I'm going to come forward with the feet until basically want to get that in there. So just, yeah, there we go. Move that around. Do the same with this, flip this around. And get that in there. There we go. And that will give you the front part of the feet. So that's all secure. The next thing we're going to do is this section here, you're just going to pop this out. So it's not hard. I'll show you whenever we get back into the transformation going back. But just pop that out. This is going to, leave that. This right here, you're going to swing up, come this way. Swing this way, and you'll see this little peg right here that's going to go into the back of the hole right there. Everything's still really tight on this guy. All right, I'll show you better on this leg. So we're going to pop that section out, swing down with this. We're going to bring this little section down, and then we're going to come over, so we want this to fit on this outside, and then peg that into that hole. There we go. And there you have the legs done. So yeah, look at that balance. Well, some pretty good balance. If you look at it, I mean, his foot is all this section right here, so he's got some of the best stability of all the Masterpiece, I think. This section here, you can see there's a little clip, a little hole. That's going to peg into right there. Now with this section, you can see that it was already kind of coming undone, but you pull back with this, just leave that back like so. Open up the chest, head reveal. You've got to do it in this order. If you try to do all this and then do the head, it's not going to work. Then you can close his chest. With this section here, this is where it gets a little tricky with all this, and this is one of the things that I wanted to point out to you as well. This, it says it just comes up, but if you just come up like that, I would kind of lift up and grab right here and kind of pull up at the same time, just because these two ends right here are plugged in there. So you're just going to come up with that, separate here, and these arms will flip out. Okay, so you're going to bring them out just about like that. Going to come up with these, or come down with this, come up with the wings slightly. And as you come down with these wheels, and that's why you have to come up with the wings first, just a little bit so they can get over the wheels. Go ahead and slide these wings forward. Get them out of the way, because you don't want to break them. Next thing we're going to do is go ahead and detach this section here and move those arms out. One of the things that you want to pay attention to is you see where this white part is, and then it goes to black, and then it goes white. Well, there's a rod there that rotates, and then right next to it, there's another rod through this black part that rotates. So whenever you bring this down, you see that it's naturally wanting to turn on this first rod. But if you did that, then you see that these pieces are going to be longer than his waist. So what you want to do is rotate at this black, or the back rod here. And you get your thumb in there. And it must be rotating a little bit on that first rod. There we go. So that needs to stay completely flush and, pointing towards the back. You only want to rotate on this back rod. That way you can get the chest lined up there. There we go. All right, and then you can do the wings however you want. They only go up so far because they are caught by these little stoppers. The little back section, all I could see is that just kind of leans up against the back. I didn't see a way to, and I don't want to force anything with this guy. But all I could see is this just kind of sets back there. As far as his hands, arms go, you're going to, let's see here, pull this little section up right here, come out with the fist, and then this will rotate this way. Do the same with this one. Come up with this section, then come up with the fist. This section rotates. Obviously come down with the arms here, rotate that, there's the elbow, rotate that, there's the elbow, and then rotate the fist. And there you have Wheeljack all transformed. And he looks really nice. I really like the way this guy turned out, besides this little thing. I wish there was something to hold that in there a little bit better, but it's not the end of the world. I think he looks fantastic in his alt mode and his car mode. I think he looks great in his robot mode. Everything is pretty much accurate to what you'd expect from G1. I mean, look at that face sculpt, the blue eyes, the colors, the Autobot symbol looks nice. I like the smoke windows here. Just really good looking all over. All right, and then we can mount them up. Go ahead and put this in here. There we go. And his pistol. One of the things that I do dig with his hands, those obviously open up. His pistol's a little bit harder to get in there. But once you do, you can see that he doesn't have the problem that a lot of the other, the Datsuns or the Lamborghs do. I don't even have to close his fist. That sucker is in there. And it's that way on both fists. So it seems that they've made an improvement there, or at least I think they have, because all the guns, pretty much on most of the time, both hands, it just kind of falls out of there. Even whenever I close the clamp for his fingers, it still has a hard time holding on to it. This guy, no problem. I don't even have to close the clamp. I mean, that sucker's in there. So something that maybe they've worked on, or maybe I've just had duds up until now. As far as comparison goes, and we'll go over articulation as well. Here he is with, what's his name? Blue Streak. So he's a little bit taller maybe, or maybe I've just got his, him in a little bit of a stance here. But about the same size. I mean, they look really good together. Another comparison that we'll do is here is a Generations Deluxe figure. So if this is your first time owning a Masterpiece, this is a pretty nice one to go with. But you can see how big he would compare up with those guys. As far as G1, I would just grab Streak again here. And to give him his babies, his creations. So you can see those. These guys look really cool together. You can kind of see that there. All right, now to go over the articulation of the figure. Obviously, the head rotates. Does look up some there. One of the other things, how did they do it? Do you have to take the screw off? Can you not just take it off? If I've got to take it out with a screw, I haven't even tried it, but I guess so. You can undo the screw there, which I'm not going to do, and then he's got like a hole in his head, but then he also has a little alternate face, or with like a little mustache or something, I believe. You can find pictures of it. We've showed it on the Cybercast and also my Facebook page, the G1 Hextron. So if you want to see it and you haven't seen it, then you can go there and look, or any other forum board. But I prefer this. This is the way Wheeljack is supposed to look. As far as his shoulders, this obviously rotates here. This goes in and out. He rotates at the bicep. He does have 90-degree elbow bend. His hands rotate. Obviously, the four fingers, they open. His waist does rotate 360 degrees. Leg goes up, back, goes in and out that much. 90-degree bend there. The foot can go back and forth this way, can go this way, forward some. Another thing is, like I said earlier, that he's probably one of the most stable figures because of the feet. I mean, we can even put this guy in some running pose, and just because there's so much here as far as a platform for his foot, that we just got, this other foot just on that little corner there, and you can put him in some kind of running pose. Like I put it on Instagram where he was running from the Dinobots. They thought he was his mom and stuff like that. So anyways, I have a little fun on there. Let's go ahead and get this guy back into his car mode, which to me, it's kind of the harder of the two. So that's why I wanted to do that as well. Most of the time, I just do transformation one way from alt to robot, and I end it. But if you don't want to watch that, then overall, I think this is a nice figure. I like it. I've been happy with all the Masterpiece figures, so I really can't complain. But we'll go ahead and get him into his alt mode for the ones that want to see that transformation as well. We're going to start off with the arms. Go ahead and raise those up. Going to rotate this hand, push that up. Then we're going to come up with this piece as well. And then rotate this back section, and that will fit on top, and that'll kind of fit all flush. All right, we're going to do the same with this one here. Going to rotate, I guess we'll rotate this way, this hand, and then flip that up, come up with this piece as well, and then swing that around. Then with the rest of this whole section here, you're going to start to come back with this, just like that. These wings you're going to want to lift up some. Again, you're going to come up with these. This is going to come down and flip this around, and those kind of connect just like so. Or you can rotate and then come down, and those connect there. We'll get them better connected. Or hopefully you saw that. If not, I'll show it again. But basically, we're gonna, where this was, we're going to come down with this and then rotate this around. Just want to make sure you saw it. We haven't got to any of the hard stuff yet. All right, so with this section, before we can come this way, we need to get these wings around here. And this is why you lifted them up, so you can get them past those tires. So you're going to come around this way. Come around this way, kind of get this over that. And make sure the wings are out flat. Now, these wings are hard to get down. So whenever you push on these wings, you don't want to push at the very end. You want to push back here. So it's hard for me to show you and do it at the same time, but I'm pushing just right back here. There you go. And you can hear it pop. And I was really scared about that. First couple times, it still kind of scares me, but there you go. You hear that pop. So they're really tight in there. Next thing we're going to do is you also need to make sure that this swings up. So again, you have those two rods right there. You want to make sure that it's fully extended going back this way. This is already on top. Go ahead and bring those around. And this will connect. Get all that done. Then we can push down with this section here. Get all that connected. Open the door. Push the head down. Close that one. Close that one. And there's that section done. Go ahead and untab that. We're going to get into the feet. We're going to unpeg where this back part is right here. So just going to pop that up. And we're going to rotate this up, rotate that down. And we will want to make sure the leg is straight, the knee. And this will, you see how it doesn't look like it's supposed to pop in there. This actually fits down in this little groove, this section right here. So get that in there and then kind of push it forward as well, and that'll pop into place. And yeah, that's moved down. Do the same thing with this one. That peg, undo that, come out that way. This rotates up, this little piece comes down. Again, we're going to get that into that little section there and pop it in forward. There we go. Then with the leg section here, where these, if they did stay pegged in, they're going to rotate up, and then we have always struggle with these little feet here. But we're going to come back with this section here, come back with this, go ahead and push these in, push that leg in as well. And just kind of start lining things up. Go ahead and come together with the front end. There's like a little cavity in there to where this is supposed to, I forget which way it's supposed to go. There we go. So there's a cavity inside the foot to where you need to push that in and before you can bring this around. Push that down. And then you want to make sure that clips back into place over there. That clips back into place. Everything looks solid again. We can go ahead and attach his gun. You just set that aside. We're not going to put that on there. But there is Wheeljack again in his car mode, alt mode. Again, I think it's a really great looking figure. We didn't break the mirror, so good for us. They also can come out pretty easy, so that's something that I would just be aware of. I don't know if I would use super glue to put it in there, because if it does break, you want to be able to take out that piece and put that new one in there. But thanks a lot for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. Let me know what you think. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.